your guide to the truth. TheNewAmericanMedia.com.
Hello, everybody. Broadcasting to you live from the Milky Way galaxy, the solar system, planet Earth, EARFF.
Yep.
This is the Agree to Disagree show. I'm going to stop halfway through that intro because why not? We're getting right to the news today. My name's Brian Engelman. That's Blake Walley. Check out him at TV's Blake Walley and thenextlevelnews.com. Of course, find the Agree to Disagree show and the New American Media in all of the places, especially on X at American_media_. The YouTube channel with 1,500 videos, youtube.com/@thenewamericanmedia, in our new Rumble account, The New American Media. Things are growing. Things are going well. We are knocking out more content than ever, and we appreciate all of you, including Kenneth, in the comments saying, vote Harris 2024. Okay, so we will.
Yeah, thanks for being here. We're starting an hour early, so.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. This is definitely an hour early, and this is going to be the most jam-packed 45 minutes you've ever had. Wait, how does that go? That's what she said. Anyway, right. All right, we're going to talk about the following topics, and we are going to move fast today because we left a few things on the table yesterday. We don't need to pull up the articles, Blake, but like maybe just a quick point on the topic, just because I did want to get to it. Agree or disagree that the liberal media is mindlessly repeating weird DNC talking points? Agree or disagree that we should reform the Supreme Court to protect democracy? Agree or disagree that Trump was racist and disrespectful to black journalists? Agree or disagree that Kamala Harris is finished once political reality sets in? Agree or disagree that the DNC only tells its donors what they want to hear? Agree or disagree that the Olympic opening ceremony was a disgrace to humanity? Agree or disagree that it's unjust to allow men to compete in women's sports? Agree or disagree that another Trump assassination attempt is coming soon? Agree or disagree that we should respect Kamala Harris as the first black woman candidate, or first Indian woman candidate? I don't know. Or the final one here. I want to lead with this. I'll be fast. We should fear for the safety of Biden and Harris. Blake, I don't. Would you say you're agnostic or atheist or I don't know what you're at. Like, if you have a feeling on spirituality in the afterlife.
I guess agnostic or spiritual, but not religious. Open-minded to all things.
Okay.
Yeah. Would be the
then
most accurate way.
I would like to start today's show, if you don't mind. Just a moment of prayer here to the to the powers that be in the universe, God, all heavenly Father above, grand architect of the universe, supreme being, Jesus, whatever you want to take a moment and connect to. I had a sinking pit in my stomach, a thought yesterday, and so I'd just like to pray for the safety of both Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. I cannot think of two more unlikable people who would be a bigger asset to their party if they were martyred. I am concerned about the Clinton body count people and the Obama chef people and the Joan Rivers people being in charge of whether or not Kamala Harris or Joe Biden could be offed for political profit. And I pray for their eternal safety until they can be charged with treason for their role in not securing the border and all of the other malfeasance thereof. But I sincerely pray for their safety. And please keep extra watch over them, keep them safe until hopefully they can face justice in a court of law where they can be court-martialed, tried for treason, and then it's finished that way. In your name we pray. Amen.
Meet your maker. Amen, Brian. All right.
Yes, meet your maker. So I just had that thought, Blake, and I want to put, I really sincerely do want extra angels protecting these people so that just for reasons.
We've been forsaken, Brian. Are there angels actually looking out for us, trying to intervene? I've heard maybe they're trying to prevent us from thermonuclear war or something. These stupid ape creatures on the outskirts of the galaxy, so they don't blow themselves up, so they can enjoy the reality shit show. And also they like the animals. It's kind of like a interesting planet, a biological zoo. Yeah, there we go.
It's a nice zoo. Earth TV, as I call it, on the Moon Saloon. They watch Earth TV from their bar. It's like the best reality show, but they gamble on it, kind of like in Rat Race. So
right,
there's that. Michael Ray, what up, buddy? Huh?
It's a good movie.
Absolutely, one of the most underrated comedy movies of that era. First upright walking hyena candidate. Oh Lord. Well, she wasn't
So
upright.
we're talking about zoos and stuff, so I don't know.
Joe Brown. Okay, so yeah, I've met at least 2 angels that have explained to me that they were angels. They broke character and connected with me in a very meaningful way.
A profound spiritual experience, Brian.
2
Tell
of
us
them,
more.
at least 2 of them. That clearly stand out. And I'll tell that story another day. But first, let's get into this one. It is the picture on the screen, and I am so fired up to talk about this lady Olympian getting whooped. I'm so angry, and I got a lot to say on that, but I just want to tear through the rest of these. Blake, agree or disagree that we should respect Kamala Harris as the first Black woman candidate?
No, disagree. And actually, I wrote that. I don't know if that's even fair because I did vote for Cynthia McKinney in 2008, who was Congressman woman, Georgia, who was a Black woman. But in this case, Kamala is not actually Black. And I thought it was hilarious. I love the video clips that I saw of Trump going into a hostile environment, talking to Black journalists the other day. So yeah, I love that he just brought that up right in front. Yeah, she's Indian, and we can pull that one up. And is what half Indian, half East Indian, half Jamaican. Nothing wrong with that. But if she's presenting herself as a Black woman, she's lying. She's pandering.
Well, she's technically not African American, but you can be Black from Jamaica.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how all of that works going into too much of the history, but she's not like American Black. She's not from she's not quite on the same page, but if she can use it to her as a political advantage, she will. And that's what
that's the whole Pocahontas thing. It's like you have high cheekbones, but you're 1.000000037th Cherokee or something, and it's like,
right.
What are we celebrating? Why does any of this matter more than content of character and the record and resume that you have before you? Judge a person on their achievements, not like who cares about this stuff. It bugs me to no end.
No, I agree with you.
She's clearly pushing the Indian thing, and it's like Trump went to that event and he's like, I thought she was Indian. Not my words, her words.
Right.
I thought it was okay. Frankly, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe we should run a clip here if I can pull this up here.
All right, let's see which one. Oh, the one right there where she's cooking. Put her in the kitchen first.
Okay.
The one with the girl from The Office. What's Mindy?
Yeah.
Mindy?
Okay, here we go.
Okay, so what we're gonna cook today is an Indian recipe.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
you are Indian.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, and I don't know that
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. No.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
actually right. So
Actually, I'm half Indian and half Black. Well, not African American, but Jamaican, and it's like 75% Indian. It's like Southeast Indian and then East Indian. But there were slaveholders in the family on the side that was on the Jamaican. So I'm kind of like Jamaican and Indian. But yeah, I love this Indian part of me. It's cool. You look like my family. She says.
Yeah, definitely.
Sorry, not to steal the thunder. Let it play.
No, yeah. Let's keep rolling here.
everybody knows that, but I find that wherever I go.
No, wait,
and I
everybody
see
knows
Indian
that.
people- Okay, and I don't know that everybody knows that.
Well, we do now.
But I find that wherever I go and I see Indian people at the supermarket, on the street, everyone's like, Kamala Harris is Indian, right? It's like the thing we're so excited about.
Pause.
Yep.
This is a thing that we're all excited about. This Mindy, what is her name? Mindy.
I'm not actually sure. I'm not familiar with this. I used to watch the Food Network a lot. I don't actually know what this is from.
No. This girl, she was on The Office, and the Mindy.
Oh, I didn't watch.
She's a Democrat shill actress.
Aren't they all? Isn't there a bunch of them?
Yeah, but she's right up there with the Jack Blacks and the maybe The Rock from 4 years ago and LeBron. Like she's in the top 100 water carriers for their things. So she's pretty rabid, pretty adamant. But I just find it hard to believe anybody's excited about Kamala for anything.
Right. So yes, this is what it is. A candid interview with Mindy Kaling.
That it is. Kaling. Mindy Kaling. Okay.
Who asked Harris to confirm. That's what Donald Trump was saying. Yeah, crazy Kamala saying she's Indian, not Black. This is a big deal. Stone cold phony. She uses everybody, including her racial identity. All right, but we'll get back. We got we're halfway through the clip. Let's check out the rest. But we
Look
got
at, by the way, just look at this fake smile thing that she's doing. It's just so over the top. It's so Biden-y. Just grin like a Cheshire cat, grin like a skeleton. And it's just, I mean, who really holds that deep of a smile that long unless it's a big phony act? That's kind of where I'm coming from. The more you see Kamala, the less you like her.
Yeah, that's what everybody's saying. She is a total phony, and you see one side of her in public and another side behind the scenes. That was one of the things. Well, we can still talk about that, is how she gets along with her staff and the turnover rate, 92%, which is just astonishing, which means she has the most toxic workplace environment you can probably imagine.
Most toxic workplace outside of the French Olympics, if you're a female boxer. But we'll get to that. All right.
Have you running for president?
Yeah.
So
we're so excited.
Both Indian,
Yeah.
But actually, we're both South Indian.
Yes. You look like the entire one half of my family.
Okay, thank
Feels
you.
racist.
I've been.
Yeah, you could stretch that, but yeah, well, it's just hilarious how she's admitting basically she is not black.
Telling people we're related already,
Yeah.
so this is perfect. It's basically true. And so, were you raised eating South Indian food?
South Indian.
Well, of course, that didn't stop her. Well, that's it. So I guess it cuts off. I don't know what else happened there. But she's also mocked after she suddenly acquires a new accent during the Atlanta rally, and she's transparently fake.
Is that because she had hot sauce in her purse like Hillary?
Yeah, no, it's the worst thing since Hillary, yeah. But no, I don't think she pandered that far. But yeah, you can see just the difference. This is how she talks with one group.
Yes. Is it playing?
That was Leslie Jones is the real black woman.
Wait, it's not playing for us, Blake. You're on the other screen.
Oh, damn it. All right.
We are all in this together, and your vote is your power. So please make sure your voice is heard this November and register to vote at vote.gov.
Okay.
And you all helped us win.
Here she is in Atlanta. So she was in this, gathering to make it look how popular she is. But they were there for a concert. They were there for one. I don't even know who the musical act was.
Megan Thee Stallion. The Stallion. Like the Ohio State.
Ah, okay. So, and then once that let out, then everybody started leaving. Of course, they got the paid phonies up there behind her. And here she is making her speech. But yes, she's putting on a fake accent for people in Atlanta.
And you all helped us win in 2020, and we're going to do it again in 2024.
Oh, my God.
And we're going to do it again in 2024.
Yeah, she had lunch with Stacey Abrams and came out a different person. I guess they coached her how to speak like this.
Yeah, too bad Stacey Abrams had a mouthful of brisket while she was trying to do it, because that was a terrible accent.
Yeah, I don't even know what that is, but that is actually like just racist pandering. And she's not black, and she's a big phony. Yeah, the balls to go up there and to fake an accent like that. It's ridiculous. At least Hillary actually, spent some time in Arkansas, and she put on that fake. I don't feel no ways tired. Stupid. Yeah.
That's
I got my hot sauce in my purse. Yeah.
So let's get.
This is a California girl, lived in Canada, and is even a Jamaican accent might be acceptable, but this is ridiculous. So
everything I re, man. Everything I re. That means everything's good. Well, moving off of that particular part, Trump went and gave his speech. Do you think Trump was racist and disrespectful to black journalists?
No, I think people are trying to spin it that way, but I loved it because he gets so much shit for, supposedly being a racist. It's completely untrue. And he was willing to go out, and he wanted to meet with Kamala, was also supposed to be there because she's been calling him out like he's, somehow that's one of the talking points. They're like afraid to debate Kamala, and it's total bullshit. So he went there, and yeah, it was a very hostile environment, not for everybody in the crowd, but for the people interviewing him.
And remember, we were in the Libertarian Convention when he was heckled pretty unmercifully the entire time that he was on stage. Trump will go anywhere and talk to anyone. The man is friggin' fearless. That's what you want in a leader. He does it, and he stands up in the same way that he stands up to these mean MFers. He stands up to other countries negotiating trade deals. So how about, like, sit down, shut up with your complaints about the style. He's childish. You know, he's got a checkered past. How about he's the right negotiator for this country so that our energy prices can plummet, so inflation will fall back, so that we can secure this place, start cleaning up the trash, and maybe settling down all of the fires that are raging globally so we can avoid a nuclear World War III. I don't give a damn if your feelings are hurt. I'd kind of like a negotiator, a boss, somebody who is fearless and willing to work. I mean, Trump's here. He's there. He's talking to the black journalists. Then he's in Pennsylvania, right around the place where he just got shot in the head. The guy is a Energizer bunny. And I feel like that's exactly who this country needs to just kind of get things on track, because Biden, Harris, Obama, they have taken us so far into the weeds. This car cannot take this off-roading anymore. We have to slow down, get back on track, and then open it up on the open road.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. This is great. Yes, he's absolutely willing to put himself out there in any situation, hostile environments, no matter what. He is there for the challenge, unlike, say, Biden, who campaigned from his basement. So,
by the way, everybody, please click like and click subscribe however you're watching us. Also, be sure to check out the other videos that are on Rumble and YouTube and Odyssey for the New American Media, and over with Blake at thenextlevelnews.com. We had a conversation was that yesterday? No, 2 days ago, with John Fugelsang, actor, comedian, radio host. It was challenging, and it was good. And I want you to watch it and leave your comments. I tried really hard to make sure everyone had a chance to speak their mind and just put it all out there. We did not agree on many of the topics, but honestly, it's the first time I have spoken with somebody who held those opinions in a really long time. And I think if we're going to be evangelizing the reasons why it might be really important to vote Trump. Oh my God, you use Trump in a religious context. No, I'm evangelizing is to go door to door, to talk to your friends, to commune and talk, and try to, instead of winning souls, you're just saying, hey, look, there's a guy that's qualified for this position, and it'll help your daily life if you pick this guy. This other group is lying. They're manipulating you. They are damaging your brain with propaganda and divisive racial nonsense. I think it's important that we listen to the best of the other side, listen to the best arguments, so that we can at least have an idea of what's going to be said, so we can have a reply ready. I just don't watch MSNBC or CNN. I can't handle the crazy that way. But John is a very effective communicator, and gracious with his time. Like he said, I can't believe we went 2 hours, and it was a good conversation. Blake, any thoughts on that? I just wanted to let people know we have a back catalog of stuff. If you're just finding us, click around and watch some of these interviews. But just real quick, Blake, thoughts on 2 days ago show?
No, it was pretty awesome. And, big respect to John and for jumping in. I mean, he had, nothing to gain and everything to lose by, joining us. I didn't know if he would actually do it or not. Because, his audience is, 100 times bigger than us. He has reason to be here.
Well, they're 100 times more progressive, or not to put words.
That too. Right. No, he's very professional. He's very good. He's a very sharp guy. And as I was trying to tell you, before, this guy's, the real deal. And one of the things I didn't mention, he's probably one of only a couple of people. I was going to say, him and Jon Stewart are probably the only two people on the left that I would think would represent a good challenge for me or for us. He brought that and then some. So he knows his stuff.
And that's not to say that I believed that most of what he was saying was accurate, but I believed that he wanted to present it as accurate. And so let's just listen. Right. There was a lot of, here's a topic, and quickly we'd veer off onto, like, any good interviewer, any good debater will take whatever question and land it exactly diagonal where they want to take it. But yeah, Blake and I, we both talked. We're like, oh, we left about 200 questions on the table. Questions, comments, follow-ups. But it's like, you can't say everything. And at some point, let's keep it rolling into the next topic. But we really didn't stop talking for 2.5 hours, 2.25 hours. It was great. It was a good time. So I hope you all check that out. The Agree to Disagree show from 2 days ago with John Fugelsang. Hopefully we'll be able to connect with him again, bring him back on. And we need more conversations. I've talked with Clint Russell. He's not a Trumper. I've talked with John Odermatt. He's not a Trumper. I've talked to a lot of people. I mean, geez, even AJ last year, he was, I think, DeSantis, anti-Trump at that time. I'll let him put his own words in his mouth, but nobody's going to agree with you on everything at every time. But like, let's have a very thick, robust, interesting conversation, and let's read your comments. Which parts of the show spoke to you? Hit pause, make a comment. Hey, when he said this thing, when you said this, maybe you didn't realize. Like, that's how you really connect a strong conversation together, is through those comments. So please hit subscribe, like us, the Agree to Disagree show, the New American Media, in all of the platforms to keep the conversation going. Okay. Pied Piper says, Trump is a genius. What's up, Dreamer Ultra? How are you, sir? Kenneth as well. I missed that one about Trump being a genius, but I'm sure it was geniusy in a way. Trump is a genius. Now the media is forced to address the Kamala identified as whatever is politically convenient. Blake, I mean, that's what he does. The guy is a really talented political power, just directionally. He makes the news. He decides what needs to be talked about, and it happens. I mean, he's just a boss. He's a leader. It's what this country needs. You can dislike him all you want, but he will go into the lion's den, and he's not going to back down from anything, anyone, anywhere, ever.
No, and he certainly didn't do it. He went on the offense in this setting here. Yeah, it was an aggressive interview by Rachel Scott of ABC. So yes, that's what's the National Association of Black Journalists. So, and he showed up, and Kamala did not. I guess she was attending the funeral of, I already forgot her name, that awful congressman in LA. I already forgot. She passed away recently.
And she had a role on the Secret Service with the
no business to be there at all.
Security. She had was it Sheila Jackson Lee?
Yeah, no, that's Texas. Close. I can't remember her name. Usually she's one of the ones on the top of my head if I'm thinking like the craziest, wackiest Democrats, and just like a useful idiot for the party. Not that I want to speak ill of her now that she's
remembering Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee.
Yeah, isn't it Sheila Jackson Lee's in Texas, right? So who is
Vice President Kamala Harris addressed the Sigma Gamma Rho National Convention before delivering a eulogy for Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee.
Oh, okay. I guess I
thought I was going crazy there, but it's okay.
Okay. I'm okay. My bad. I guess I'm getting it mixed up. I was on the road when all this one happened.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So
all right, you want to play the whole intro of this, or I don't know what clip you have pulled up, but
yeah, let's roll a clip.
How it started and how it ended.
Yep. Well, I figure out where I messed up here. Okay, let's check out one of these clips here. How about this one?
Republicans on Capitol Hill have labeled Vice President Kamala Harris, who is the first Black and Asian American woman to serve as vice president and be on a major party ticket, as a DEI hire. Is that acceptable language to you? And will you tell those Republicans and those supporters to stop it?
How do you define DEI? Go ahead. How do you define
diversity, equity, and inclusion?
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Is that what your definition?
That is
give me a definition then. Would you give me a definition
DEI.
of that? Give me a definition.
Sir, I'm asking you a question,
No,
a
you
very
have to
direct
define
question.
it. Define it for me, if you
I
would.
just defined it, sir. Do you believe that Vice President Kamala Harris is only on the ticket because she is a Black woman?
Well, I can say, no, I think it's maybe a little bit different. So I've known her a long time indirectly, not directly very much. And she was always of Indian heritage, and she was only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was Black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn Black, and now she wants to be known as Black. So I don't know, is she Indian or is she black?
She has always
But you know
identified
what?
as a black woman. She went to a historically black college.
I respect either one, but she obviously doesn't, because she was Indian all the way, and then all of a sudden she made a turn and she became a black person.
Just to be clear, sir, do you believe that
I think
she is
somebody should look into that too when you continue in a very hostile, nasty tone.
Awesome. Okay, I was thinking of Maxine Waters. I guess so. That's who it was. She was Sheila Jackson Lee. Okay, my bad. I don't know why I thought it was Maxine Waters. But yeah, I was on the road when I heard about it. I don't even think we never even covered that.
I did on the shows in between because she has connections to the Secret Service director, and she died right. What was it? 2 days after, 3 days, 4 days after the shooting, the assassination attempt of President Trump.
Yeah.
And it was like, well, the instant question is same as it was with Thomas Massey's wife. You say, was foul play involved? These are players like really involved in things. Was foul play involved? I guess she had a aggressive pancreatic cancer, as many people do. I've lost a friend to that. It sucks. So my understanding is it was kind of anticipated and it wasn't out of nowhere like Antonin Scalia. But yeah, we covered that a bit because she definitely played a role. I don't know if I have
one more clip here.
Yeah, do you have the very beginning by chance? I don't know which
might
one.
be. I can't remember. That's
okay. Let it rip.
I want to start by addressing the elephant in the room, sir.
Yes, the intro.
A lot of people did not think it was appropriate for you to be here today. You have pushed false claims about some of your rivals, from Nikki Haley to former President Barack Obama, saying that they were not born in the United States, which is not true. You have told 4 congresswomen of color who were American citizens to go back to where they came from. You have used words like animal and rabid to describe black district attorneys. You've attacked black journalists, calling them a loser, saying the questions that they ask are, quote, stupid and racist. You've had dinner with a white supremacist at your Mar-a-Lago resort. So my question, sir, now that you are asking black supporters to vote for you, why should black voters trust you after you have used language like that?
Well, first of all, I don't think I've ever been asked a question in such a horrible manner. First question. You don't even say, hello, how are you? Are you with ABC? Because I think they're a fake news network, a terrible network. And I think it's disgraceful that I came here in good spirit. I love the black population of this country. I've done so much for the black population of this country, including employment, including opportunity zones with Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina, which is one of the greatest programs ever for black workers and black entrepreneurs. I've done so much, and and I say this, historically black colleges and universities were out of money, they were stone cold broke, and I saved them and I gave them long-term financing, and nobody else was doing it. I think it's a very rude introduction. I don't know exactly why you would do something like that. And let me go a step further. I was invited here and I was told my opponent, whether it was Biden or Kamala, I was told my opponent was going to be here. It turned out my opponent isn't here. You invited me under false pretense. And then you said, you can't do it with Zoom. Well, where's Zoom? She's going to do it with Zoom and she's not coming. And then you were half an hour late, just so we understand. I have too much respect for you to be late. They couldn't get their equipment working or something.
Hold on.
That's pretty much it. That's only 3 seconds left.
Oh shoot. Go back 5 seconds. I'll shut up and we'll roll it out then. Sorry.
Okay, no worries.
And then you were half an hour late, just so we understand. I have too much respect for you to be late. They couldn't get their equipment working or something was wrong.
Mr. President, I would love if you can answer the question on your rhetoric.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, just masterful. Absolutely masterful. And the line, I have too much respect for you to be late. Oh, mic drop. Oh, good Lord. I mean, I'm sure somebody on Twitter is going to be saying, did he just make a CPT joke? Is that what that was? Did he just make a CPT joke? That means colored people time. I learned that living in Los Angeles. I'd never heard the term before till I lived out in Los Angeles. But Blake, he took all of that hostility and venom. That was a complete deflection right back to the source. That was incredible.
Master jujitsu there. So yeah, it pretty much dispels all of this BS that they've said about, him being like, racist or whatever. And he made a lot of bold statements. I think there was another one where he said like he had done more for black people than Abraham Lincoln or something since any president.
Since Abraham Lincoln. He's been
to say that
president for black
in front of a black crowd,
Americans.
In front of a hostile reporter and in front of a all black crowd. I don't know if it was all black, but to make those bold statements after we've already had a black president with Clinton, that was pretty awesome. So yes, he pretty much disarmed them all and was very fair about it. And they were even more hostile about cognitive tests and this and that. It was, it was nasty, but he turned it all right back around on them. So glorious. I think that's one of the best things that could help him in his presidency that could ever happen was right there. That performance that he pulled off there.
You mentioned two words that are going to be great for a segue usage here: hostile and disarming. And I think this will play a role in the next topic about will President Trump face another assassination attempt? By the way, that CPT joke was pretty top tier. I need to rework that. Maybe I'll do that on stage next week. I'm trying to do my 4 minutes on stage. I'm entering the world of stand-up comedy. So got a couple jokes. And if I'm bold enough to let that one rip, that's an interesting one. Okay.
You just wing it, Brian. Come on.
Oh, I'm not winging it. No. Although nobody would be better at crowd work. Nobody better than me. I think I would crush crowd work, but I'm not going to start with crowd work. That's unfair. I have to respect what it means to, even if you glance at a note card, that's fine. It's like, no, you got to memorize it. Hey, don't tell me how I'm going to do it. I'll do it the way I want to do it. A couple bullet points maybe, and I have to riff off the top of my head. That is so easy. I think interacting with the crowd would be awesome because when you watch people that are not good at it, who try to do it, it is so cringe. But it's easy to bring people in if you're used to it, if you know how to do it. But anyway, yeah, we'll see if I work that one in. I think it would only work if I were able to play the clip of him saying that to then make the joke. Is that what he was just saying? Did he just make a CPT joke? So then it's not me saying it. Am I asking if Trump just did it? See, hey, I don't know.
I don't know about that
here for a second. What's that?
I don't know. It's it might be a tough one to pull off. So
hey, like John Fugelsang said when I asked him for some coaching on how to do my stand-up set, he said, when you do it, you have to promise yourself you're going to do it a second time, regardless of how the first time goes. I said, all right, I'm in for at least two. I'm in for two. Question from Keith. What up, buddy? Good seeing you. Keith, how did you find our show today? Did you find our show on X or on YouTube? Or it hasn't been streaming to Facebook for months now. So curious about that. But Keith asks us, do we have any concerns about the most recent polls having a Trump lead shrinking, or do we think the polls are BS? Blake?
100% BS. I don't know why people take these so seriously. They randomly call six or 700 people.
Random, right?
Yeah, and it's like, oh, okay, well, it's an idea, but to think like, oh wow, they're actually ahead. I think they can absolutely cook these things however they want, and they know who they're calling. I think they kind of know who ahead, and they can just make these things up. So I don't know why people take these so seriously. I do not. I wouldn't. They're just.
I would agree there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all manufactured.
I agree with that 100%. And Keith's saying he got a YouTube alert. That's awesome. Thank you for watching. Everyone else, please hit subscribe and hit like. Keith's good people. He's sharp. He's really sharp. I met him at a Browns documentary. A lot of overlapping buddies. Met him in person a couple times now, right? He's been down to Louisville. One of the best kept secrets in the world. So let's not tell everyone how awesome Louisville is. But yeah, good to have you around. Hit like and subscribe, everybody else out there. Okay, Blake, agree or disagree that another Trump assassination attempt will be coming soon? What say you?
Yeah, I guess I'm just going to have to agree with this. I don't see why not. I'm sure they're going to do whatever they can find any open window they can to try to take out their top opposition. But this is actually coming from a Secret Service counter sniper who is warning that another Trump assassination attempt is coming, demands firings, and yet I guess they quickly deleted the email. This was called out on Capitol Hill and read by Marsha Blackburn from Tennessee. So as a Secret Service counter sniper sent out an email copying the entire uniformed division, warning that if changes are not immediately made, a further assassination attempt on Trump before the election may be successful. So this is also broken by Real Clear Politics reporter Susan Crabtree, stating that he no longer feels proud to be working for the agency and that 5 higher-ups need to be fired, and there's only one down so far. So I won't get into too much of this, or should I? But yeah, calling basically everybody out, and there needs to be changes within this top of the agency. It seems that they well, here it is. Marsha Blackburn has read from this email. So warning about that. And here's the this isn't where she reads the email, but she's talking to the new Secret Service Director Rowe, another Democrat stooge, apparently, as it turns out. He was getting grilled. Yeah, he worked for the Obama White House and one of the Democratic Senate Judiciary Chairman, Pat Leahy. He's Democrat staffer. Biden, yeah, another deep state goon, just like this clown here, Christopher Wray, straight out of Central Casting, as the villain. FBI director, corrupt. But yeah, anyway, so that was interesting to see. And we also have new video merging of the shooter running across a rooftop as Trump.
Good Lord.
Yeah, so it seems that he just was in a trap. And they had this whole plot going on.
It's very similar to January 6th. They funneled all of the Trump supporters into a spot. They let them in as a trap. They made an example out of him, lied about it being an insurrection. The same idiots that burned America down all year because a guy overdosed in Minneapolis and it looked awful on video, but that's not what the autopsy report said. And you never saw the beginning of the video where he was complaining that he can't breathe because he downed a handful of fentanyl so he'd avoid being in jail. They cheered on the burning of America for the entire year. No repercussions, even Kamala Harris asking people to donate to the Minnesota Freedom Fund, I believe is the name. And then people are upset at a stolen election. Then they're funneled through with the help of Ray Epps and others. I mean, you want to talk about being set up? That's exactly what they do to Trump over and over again. They keep setting him up. What do you think that Black Journalist Convention was with that first question? That was a setup. Megyn Kelly's first question from Fox. That was a setup. Chris Wallace's first question on Fox. Setup. They're trying to wind up and take their best shot, literally, in Pennsylvania. They're trying to take their best shot at this guy. I don't know. I am very concerned. I also extend, obviously, my prayers for protection for Donald John Trump and everybody close to him. Obviously. Because I think he's making some headway and has the potential to really fix a lot of broken stuff in this country, and we desperately need it. Because if we can't fix what's happening now, we might not have a country left to fix. So, yeah, are you able to full screen that and play this video? Anyone claiming, oh, the guy you couldn't see him. Yeah, you could see him. If anyone was looking, if anyone that was looking wanted to pull the trigger, if anyone there actually wanted to do the job and protect this guy, look at this. That's not a pigeon.
Yeah, it's crazy. You see this with a cell phone camera. There he is, set up. Yeah, that's it. But yeah, pretty unbelievable. So you'd think this suspicious guy walking across on that, roof would have been noticed, and they at the very least told Trump to pause while they could investigate further. Brian, did you freeze? No, you just looked like you're frozen. Okay, no, I thought you froze there. There he is.
Like on
Right.
Saved by the Bell, and Zach's like, time out. And everyone's like,
yeah, did I freeze or did you freeze?
no. That's
All right. Well, yeah, that's just no. There's no way you could really at this point can convince me that this was just a mistake or this was just a botched operation. This seems like they were, they knew what was happening, and they were going to allow him to get some crazy, I don't know, MK Ultra guy to get some shots off, or at least blame it on him. Take the fall, Mr. Some weirdo loner creep, but he happened to be in a BlackRock commercial. Like that. Tell me how that.
You mean the guy that had remote control detonating devices in 2 different locations, including a vehicle and his apartment? Yeah, this seems like the work of a 20-year-old loser.
Right. And he's just showing up with a rangefinder. He's got a rifle.
Yeah. This is
a ladder, and the police are in the building that he's on top of. Like, really?
It's not like you could protect the building. It had a slightly slanted roof.
Right.
I mean, they came out and lied. That Kimberly Cheetah lied about why they didn't have a sniper up there. It is interesting sometimes how the lies will give you away. And there was no need to lie about that unless you're trying to obfuscate and redirect away from what's really happening. That tells a lot. So, all right. Yeah, just continued prayers for protection to everybody. I mean it. For Biden, for Harris, for Trump, for JD Vance, and for every attendee at these shows. There's a lot of people that have swarmed into this country. And there's a report that there's a Venezuelan gang of 1,000 people getting ready to attack cops across the country. And of course, that raises the question, when the lights go out, is this country about to be overthrown? Do you have a plan in place if the power goes out? Are you prepared to defend your country, defend your home? Are you ready? Because we're watching what's happening in Venezuela right now. And it's just, that's a report that you can find more about on our X feed. It didn't make today's stack, but I would definitely encourage you to check that out. Keith is saying that they couldn't access his phone as well. Yeah, how convenient.
Yeah.
Was that an Urkel? How convenient.
There you go.
Maybe it was. I don't know. All right. Let me bounce off of Trump for a second, unless you had anything more to add. I probably should have had the Kamala thing attached to Kamala, but let me ask you this regarding Kamala. Do you think she's finished once political reality sets in? Would you agree with that or disagree with that? I mean, they call it the Kasich effect.
Oh,
because people tend to like the generic candidate before they get to know them. Once you get to know them and all their dirty laundry's aired out, you're like, oh, I don't like them either. It's like, yeah, because everybody in the limelight is slurred and slandered and, lied about incessantly. But luckily for Kamala, you can look at her job as borders are and go, unkamalified, next. I don't even know why Trump would debate her, honestly. He didn't debate in the Republican political process. He already defeated Joe Biden. What more does he have to prove? Nothing. Other than the more you let her talk, the more people will dislike her. So
yeah, absolutely. We got to see Tulsi Gabbard destroy her at the debates, and we can watch Donald Trump do the same thing. Kamala's just awful when she's off script. So if she's going to be, sitting up there freestyling, Trump's going to bury her, and I'd like to see that. So especially when people are acting like, Trump is afraid of her. Yeah, let's see about that. And her record is absolutely awful. So here's an interesting article, about the perfect stooge. How did Kamala Harris get this far? A lot of.
You pause this time. How did Kamala Harris get this far? How did Kamala Harris get this far?
Party primary.
Hold on. The last thing I heard, Blake, when you froze, and I apologize, it could have been me, but
it wasn't.
How did Kamala get this far? So I lost you for 20 seconds.
Oh, weird. Yeah, it's a good question. Her record's not too good there. Her history as a shady prosecutor and being a very radical senator. She doesn't really have any accomplishments to run on, which is another thing that I was going to get into with Kevin O'Leary. Not to mention, the staff turnover rate at 92% is just insane. So let's run part of this clip from.
By the way, one more quick question to Pied Piper Postcards Plus. Well, because it happens to be. Oh, geez, we don't have the comments. I apologize, guys. Comments on the side are great. Sorry, I didn't think about it. Thank you for the reminder, Kenneth. I love the comments. You know that about me. You guys are a constant shotgun participant, or at least a backseat participant to every show that we do. Quick question to Keith: the YouTube channel that you're on right now, it's showing that that a couple of people are connected from the YouTube sports channel for the Unhappy Hour sports show. Did you get the alert for the New American Media or for the Unhappy Hour sports show? The reason why, of course, we're kind of burying the lead here because I'm so fired up about this Olympics crap. But that's why we broadcast on the Olympic topic today on the sports feed, which we don't normally do. Just curious to get our analytics because Facebook is definitely messing with our stuff and curious. Okay, what do you got here for us, Blake? This is Kevin O'Leary.
Yeah, and Jesse Waters' show the other night. Let's get his opinion here.
It would be important to leave aside the politics and ask, what has Kamala Harris actually done, actually achieved? Because if I was hiring her, and I'm not trying to be partisan, I would ask her, what was a goal? What did you achieve? Because any governor or any senator that we'd put into presidential viability would have a history, a track record of doing stuff.
What do you think she would say, Kevin, if you asked her in an interview straight up, Kamala, what's your biggest accomplishment? What would she say?
Oh, Lord.
I don't know because I don't know of one.
What would you say, Brian?
Nothing. You can
exactly.
You were in charge of the border and you've let tens of millions of unvetted people in who have caused countless numbers of rapes and murders and crime across the country. What in the world are you doing? She's doing exactly as her bosses are telling her to do, which is why I'm very concerned about what happens when they launch the attack. I don't think all these military-age men are all here to go work at Taco Bell under the table. Last I heard, you're not allowed to hire people under the table. So what benefit would that be to big business? Help me understand that one. Because I thought that was a thing. Forgive me. I can't think of a single thing she could say that's positive because she failed so abjectly at the one thing that mattered. But like I said, she didn't fail. She did exactly as Obama wanted.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that. Her record as a prosecutor is awful. Her record as a senator is extreme left, one of the most extreme left, not somebody that even votes like in a bipartisan way. I think she was something like 97% like radical left. And then, of course, 92% staff turnover and 4 years of VP. What could I really name? She did these awkward moments where she appears like she's drunk and she's cackling. Like this is all a joke. And she had the lowest approval rating of any VP as this supposed first VP woman of color. No, it was dreadful. And now they're propping her up, which is, well, I guess we'll just switch over to this.
Like speaking of joke, we asked, what has she achieved? Kenneth says she achieved an orgasm. Yeah. How did she launch her political career? How did she work her way up from Montel to what's that guy's name? Joe Brown. That's not it. It's who's the other one?
Was it Montel Williams? Was it Montel Williams the side chick
Kamala worked for that she was banging like the
it was Willie Brown?
Willie Brown. I keep thinking Joe Brown. I'll get it right. Yeah. I'll form that thought in my head. I'll pour concrete around it. Yeah.
Well, Judge Joe Brown is funny, outspoken, and I remember he was talking shit about something. I can't remember who it was, but yeah, he was gloves off, pro-Trump guy.
Keith is saying they are trying to erase her history too. GovTrack removed the most liberal senator ranking from 2019. Right. I think the question there was, does GovTrack only track people that are currently in the Senate, or is it all time? I don't know the answer to that, because if she's not currently there, maybe she wouldn't be. Yes, it is Willie Brown. Maybe that could be the reason there. But yeah, that definitely got removed. Very interesting. Much like the Obama chef while paddleboarding. All right, Blake, what else you got?
Well, we won't run this clip. I know we're a little short on time, but we got Joe Rogan here talking about this with Michael Malice.
No, just play it. He's smart. Sure. I want to hear this, both of them. It's important.
I haven't even checked this one out, so it's 4.5 minutes. Okay, if we're going to play it, then I won't even have to read the quotes. So, Perfect. All right, let's let it rip.
It all bothers me, the fragility of the human mind. You know, that everybody forever was like, Kamala Harris is the worst vice president. She's the least popular vice president. of all time.
Ever.
And then in a moment in time, all of a sudden she's our solution. She's our hero. Everybody's with her. All these social media posts about her. Try Googling a negative story on her. You won't find one.
Or just try Googling Trump assassination and you'll find Kamala. Actually, we should run that as an experiment.
Yeah, we'll do that. We don't have to do it this second.
Okay.
Or, you know, go ahead, press play while you pull it up and we'll try it.
Here, let's go to Google.
Bill Ulm in the comments is saying that she wants to be under the desk in the Oval Office instead of in the chair. Well, now I don't know about that. Kenneth is saying Joe Rogan. Yeah, I mean, if you could put a head of hair on Rogan.
They've fixed it now. Trump assassination.
Okay.
You cannot be there. They did fix it.
Well, they only fix what we find and mock into obscurity. They are scamming every aspect of society. These people are awful, folks. They are.
Oh yeah, no, Google. Yeah, they should get their headquarters raided by the FBI. If the FBI was on our side, and just find out a few of the people that are manipulating the search engine results. But that is awful inside job, election interference, all kinds of awful stuff that somebody needs to be held to account. I think they said it was some kind of a AI hallucination or just some total outrageous BS. But anyway, they have fixed it to their credit after they were called out for it. So let's get back to Joe.
So,
ta-da!
Okay, you've got.
Do you think they have her medicated? Because there was a guy that was speculating that some of the things that she says, the way she's sort of disconnected sometimes, and
I don't
she
know
goes
what,
on these rambles, that it's
I don't
indicative of certain anti-anxiety medication. I do not know if this is true.
The word salad stuff, yeah.
See if you can find that. Because
there's a great analogy in this American Thinker article. She's like somebody who's doing presenting a book report, but you can tell she didn't read the book. That's great.
Really, that would say that about our future president.
Yeah, our future. Yeah,
she's gonna win.
No, she's not.
She can win.
Oh, stop.
She absolutely can win. I do not think she's going to win because the more she talks, like in 2020, how bad do you have to be that you can't even make Iowa? She couldn't even compete with the mayor of South Bend.
I feel like we are in this very bizarre time where people are giving in to the bullshit in a way that I never suspected people would before. And this is one, they just want no Trump no matter what, and they're willing to gaslight themselves.
And astroturf them.
By the way, I think Hillary...
Yeah, big astro.
So astroturfy. It's such a fake enthusiasm for Kamala.
Absolutely.
And this is, he's saying he thinks Hillary could win. That's exactly why I started the show off with a prayer. You get Kamala out of the way. Oh, Hillary puts her claws, her demonic claws into the back, climbs over the Kamala carcass.
Bring it, Hillary. Let's let Trump finish you off. That was some great debates in 2016.
Yeah, because
you'd be in jail. Yeah, let's see that again. I'm done for round two. Your microphone just went wonky.
Did it? Go ahead.
Oh, maybe not. Okay. You want to keep running this clip, or do we
just another couple of seconds, 20 seconds or so? Let him wrap this point up with Hillary.
You got it.
Hillary could win. If Hillary jumped back in,
I've been saying that for months.
If Hillary jumped back in, I think the problem was also the money, because there was it was like $250 million in the campaign fund that has to, if it only works if she's on the ticket.
Right.
So that's part of the problem. But I feel like Hillary could win. She won the popular vote in 2020 or in 2016.
I've been saying this for a year in different shows, and she would win one in pretty.
Michelle Obama could win too.
No, I don't.
If
think
she wanted to do it, you don't think so?
I don't. I think that's kind of this. You sound like your parents. I think it's this boomer idea. She doesn't want it.
I'm not saying that she would be awesome at it, but I think
anyone can win of either party.
Yes.
Whoever the nominee is. Like even Chris Christie could have won if he's the Republican nominee.
Oh God. Okay, that might.
Yeah. All right. That's a bridge too far.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, we were on this. But it is sad. Yeah, it's. You would think people could be a little bit more open-minded, but Joe's right. I mean, they're just anybody but Trump. They've completely demonized and destroyed him in the minds of so many of people on the left that they will. And it's just like, wow, oh my God, now it's somebody, and they feigned all this enthusiasm, like, oh yeah, we're gonna win with Joe again. But then all of a sudden they bring in Kamala, And then they're like, "Oh, I'm so glad because I really didn't want to have." Like you just said, you were excited about Joe, and now you're super excited about Kamala. Which if you would have polled people a couple of weeks ago, they'd be like, "Nah, I don't think she would have been in the top 5."
No, not even close. That's why I'm so concerned for her, and I legitimately mean that, and I legitimately do pray for angels of protection to watch over them, because like I said. From Vince Foster to the Obama chef, the people who are running that party are vipers, dude. They are demonic vipers. These are not people anyway. So like, I'm praying for your protection. Okay. I want to get to this topic because it's so damn important. All right, so this one, agree or disagree that it's unjust to allow men to compete in women's sports. I'm going to play this for you. This is a woman that got beat up by a man in the Olympics. Just listen to her emotion, read what she's saying. I'll try to give you some updates and highlights of what she said. I want to show you something. He's my father. She's crying. This woman got pummeled by a man, and the Olympics allowed this.
Ho fatto l'ultimo chilometro perché un giorno mi sentii stanca.
I did everything I could.
Prima di Tokyo mi sentivo stanca. Dissi babbo, sono stanca, gli allenamenti sono intensi, però io non mollo. Lui mi disse, Angelina babbo, un campione è un po' come quando combatti, è un po' come il ciclismo. Il campione quando vede l'ultimo chilometro lo sai che cosa fa? Pedala ancora di più. Allora tu arriva a quell'ultimo chilometro e pedala, vai fino in fondo perché io sarò sempre con te. E così ho fatto. Fino alla fine ho combattuto con sangue negli occhi perché volevo a tutti i costi
questa vittoria. She wanted this victory at all costs just for my father. And instead she got pummeled by a man. Here you go, watch this. This is a guy beating up on a woman. Hormone changing pills or some sort of procedure. They think she broke her nose. I'm not entirely certain if this guy did that to her. But South Park did this skit about Macho Man taking #1 at the strong woman competition, and it played out in real life, Blake.
Yeah, it's wild.
Played out in real life.
And I thought when they, rejected Leah Thomas or William Thomas, that they had some sanity in the international level, and they're going to say, no, maybe that you can pull that off in the United States with your, woke BS.
Like, look at this guy. Look at this guy.
Yeah.
Born a man. You cannot let anyone born a man beat up on a person who is born a woman, period. You cannot allow this.
I agree. I can't believe they were in. Like I said, if they rejected Leah Thomas, why didn't they reject him? But he was rejected in 2023, right? Or is it a he? I don't know if he has his penis or balls or whatever. But yes, if he's born a man and had the testosterone and the extra muscle, then and the bone density and what have you, then he has no business. Sorry, or maybe they should have like a trans event.
This. Watch this.
Trans event.
Look at this guy. He doesn't want to have anything to do with him. Walking away. Get away from me. Why is anyone? She's bawling. She's bawling. I made it all the way to the Olympics and get beat up by a man.
This is her moment, right? It's that kind of like what's that girl's name? Riley.
He comes over and taps her on the shoulder. You got to be out of your damn mind, dude. Tap her on the shoulder. Why don't you go fight the men, pal? What a tough guy here.
Right, that's what they should do. Is they should have him go and box one of the men.
What a tough guy. Well, it's this high school volleyball player they're comparing it to. She got hit in the face on a spiked ball from some guy, and she's now paralyzed with brain damage because she got spiked in the face from a dude. Oh, well, they're trans women. No. If you're born a man, you're a man, and you cannot compete with women. Well, they can take estrogen. It doesn't matter. Never, ever, ever is this stuff to be allowed, Blake. This is insanity. I don't know how we reached this point. South Park did it. There's that joke. Simpsons did it. But here's my point. Why in the world are all of the other boxers not withdrawing, standing down, locking arm in arm, and saying we refuse to participate in an Olympic event that's going to pit a man versus a woman? We're not doing it. None of us. Who are they going to fight? They're going to fight 0 people because that person was born a man. They have the chromosomes to prove that's a man. I don't care how they feel. I don't care what drink of estrogen they took. It doesn't matter. It cannot change you enough to compete against a woman. You want to compete against a woman. How about poker? How about billiards? How about something where you're not physically attacking a woman? People said, oh, this is a fringe story. When did you ever care about female sports? You're just doing this because you hate trans people. I don't give a shit what people do in their personal lives. You do you, don't bother other people. It's the don't bother other people part that I got a problem with. Because this is clearly messing up women. That girl was there to fight for her father, and you robbed her of that. And you had the audacity to put your greasy mitt on her back to console her after you punched her in the face. So she's never been hit so hard in her life. This is insanity, Blake. I've been yelling about this for years, and the left has been enabling this crap. I don't get it for the life of me. And by the way, if there's any woman that ever wants to compete in a man's sport, you want to be in the NBA, you want to be in the NFL, good luck. And all right, I care that much. None. But when a dude, born a dude, wants to pretend there's something else and knock on a woman, line in the sand time, people. This is Orwellian 2 + 2 = 5. And it also, Blake, it also brings up the Olympic opening ceremony. What did you think of that gem that clearly had nothing to do with Christ, even though they're openly mocking it? It had nothing to do with the Last Supper, even though they're openly mocking it. You got the pale horse riding through. You got the Marie Antoinette with red everywhere and her severed head. It's like, what creepy occult shit is this? Can you just wave your flag and be like, go my country, let's go in, let's compete? I don't know what we're watching. It's like from the Democrat Party to the Olympics, we have the worst Hollywood producers writing the worst, most fucked up scripts I've ever fucking seen. And they just gaslight and they astroturf and go, ta-da, we all love this thing. We don't. And I want off of this ride. These people are out of their fucking minds, man.
Yeah, well said, Brian. Yeah, I would agree with all of that. It's insane. I'm disappointed that more people aren't standing up, especially these women. They're just allowing this to happen. And yeah, the Olympic ceremonies, even though I'm not religious, I'm offended by that. I mean, like, why would you go and do that when you know, like, most of the world is Christian or there's billions of Christians? Why would you come out?
Billion, maybe almost half or something around that regard. Where was the mockery of Muhammad, motherfucker? Don't fucking pretend that you didn't do exactly what you did. And then when people are angry about it, you're like, oh, well, the Simpsons did it. The Sopranos, look, there's a graphic that did it before. It's like, this was the Olympics. It had no friggin' place with a dude and his testicles hanging out there, painted in blue like a wacky Smurf on clearance at Marie Claire's or something. I don't know. I couldn't remember the name of any store. We didn't need to see a blue nutsack there. What are these dudes in beards and dresses running? What does this have to do with the Olympics? Well, this is not an Olympic thing. If you're a dude in a beard, you shouldn't be on the dress team. You're on the guy side.
Right. Like, so that wouldn't have flown like in the early days of the Olympics. Right. No. Just making a point on this. Right. Yeah.
I put this story last because I knew I couldn't control myself. I apologize. Please go.
Well, I was just saying on this comment, the Dreamer's asking, when did the Olympics start? It was ancient Greece, I don't know, 1500 BC approximately. But I think they all did it nude back then. So you never would have been able to compete as a man in a woman's sport because they'd have been like, no, dude, you got a penis. You're not allowed. Should we bring back nude Olympics, Brian? Is that what you're saying? Is this the greater point?
Well, since they did, fine. All right. Nude Olympics now. Let's all just fight each other. No gender.
Nobody can hide. Be like, Leah Thomas? No, you got a penis. Sorry, you're out.
Yeah, penis Thomas. All right. Any other thoughts on this? It's just I am so outraged after watching that woman get pummeled, and she was there she had a real nice story, and you took that from her. You little punk. You little punk. I don't mind that you personally feel like you want to take estrogen. I don't mind that you that you have gender dysphoria and you want to live your life a certain way. That doesn't mean that it's true. That doesn't mean that it's accurate. That doesn't mean that we need to let you beat up women ever. No, wrong. Fucking hard stop on that shit. I have zero patience for this stuff. I know this has been a huge part of my life. Do you think I have ever thought I would love to put on some boxing gloves and whoop some woman ass? No, only a punk bitch would do that. He said, bitch, that's misogynistic. No, I'm talking about the dude that's beating up women because he's a punk bitch for doing so. Yeah, but I feel like you need to get away from a woman forever. You're never allowed to lay hands on them like that again. That's not competition. Go fight your men. You want a special trans league? Find enough people to have a league for men-born men who take estrogen to pass some random test, probably as accurate as the PCR for COVID. By the way, go to cdc.gov/vaccines because we have to tell you that. You form your own damn league. Stay out of the women's league. There was a woman that deserved to compete there, and you robbed them of that. The Olympics robbed them of that. Your state-run team robbed them of that. And I am so angry. I just can't fathom. I want to compete against all girls. Well, you're a weirdo. The word that's been bandied about all the time. That's my new phrase, bandied about. Weird. I don't know. JD Vance is weird. Yeah. Well, you know, it's weird. A propaganda campaign saying the word weird about everybody. I think that's kind of weird. You want to talk about weird? The Democrats are the party of weird. You want people-born men to beat up on women in the Olympics. I think that's weird. I also think it's okay for someone to live their life how they want to. Doesn't mean you get to go into the women's safe spaces, but it means you get to be fancy-free and do your thing, and when you're in the bathroom, nobody gives you grief or punches you over it, because that's the way you're supposed to be with people. You're civil unless someone's uncivil back to you. Civility. But just because you feel a certain way doesn't mean you get to go creep in certain spaces or infringe on their Olympic right to fight other women. All right. There's your right to fight women. I didn't think I'd end a sentence that way ever in my entire life, but it just bugs the heck out of me. Okay, Frankie's laughing. I don't know what I did to make Frankie laugh, but I'm kind of on one, and that was me restrained. I really had to wait till the end of the show to get to that. Just two quick things that we had on the list for 2 days ago, Blake, on our way out the door. Agree or disagree that we should reform the Supreme Court to protect democracy? Once again, you might not have those articles pulled up. That's fine. We're not asking for all the specifics, but I just want to touch on the key point of what was tossed out there as a policy idea a couple of days ago, because it's important. It's scary if they're able to make any headway on this.
Yeah, it was something that actually Kamala had on her Twitter X, and it was about reforming the Supreme Court. That's one of the latest things that they want to do. In fact, I think I do have it.
When they say reform, they mean destroy. When they mean destroy, they say reform. That's what it is. They want to destroy. They're not reforming anything. They're not making anything better. They're destroying something that's in their way. They want to reform gun control. Gun control, that's the Second Amendment. We have the right to do whatever the hell we want as long as we don't harm another person. There's your gun control. Move along, pal. Move along.
Yeah. So, I'm not that I'm against reform, but I mean, yeah, reform the Congress too with the term limits. I'm not entirely opposed to this, but this is obviously a political issue. They're so hurt that they don't control everything, and that the Supreme Court leans conservative. So they would prefer to stack it or reform it so that they can get their full power. So it's obviously blatant political issue. So no, I would not in this sense. No. But as a whole, if we were going to redo things, sure, we could set term limits for Supreme Court and Congress, but that has to be done too.
All right. Yeah, keep your eyes peeled on that. Any last-minute Hail Mary attempts to reform, a.k.a. destroy something else. And I guess I did just kind of touch on this one. So in my Olympic rant there, Blake, was I being unfair to a trans community in that rant? Was I being some sort of istic or phobic or something? Because I don't want to see a woman get punched by someone who was born a man. Was there anything wrong? Did I step out of line in any regard there?
No, zero. I mean, it's ridiculous. And we've seen like Riley Gaines. I mean, and people are, they're go after her. Like they want to go dox and destroy her. It's like she's a, a national champion here, and she's trained her whole life only to get, beaten by Leah Thomas, who has a penis still, who did get rejected. I don't know if this other
cutting a penis off doesn't make you a woman.
Right. I agree.
Sorry, I'm not yelling at you.
I know.
I'm yelling at the.
No, it's insanity. I understand. Yeah, I get you. No, we're in this crazy dystopia shit show.
Because Blake, we're fairly libertarian people. You and I, it's kind of like people do what you want to do. Just kind of do as thou wilt, but harm no one. Harm no one else. This is clearly harming people. Full stop. So anyway, but yeah, that was the liberal media mindlessly repeating weird DNC talking points. Man, that was a mouthful. I did rewrite that one. At your behest, but yeah, I don't know if you had a compilation or something on that. But
I do actually.
Let's hear this, because I'll tell you what. Having X now and having Rumble and having Telegram, they have nothing. Everything they try boomerangs back on them tenfold. It is like the best repel spell that's ever been cast from like Final Fantasy that you've ever seen. Yeah, I mean, it is being fact checked and spun right back on them as quick as Trump did to Hillary when she said fake news. Oh, you said fake news? Because you're fake news. Frankly, it's all fake news. Except for Fox. Fox is fake news too. Frankly.
The Democrats are totally fake. And they get their talking points handed down from the DNC. And the latest buzzword was weird. A couple weeks ago I think it was before the debates, that they were doing the Joe Biden thing. Oh, he's sharp as a tack. I've never seen him so sharp, blah, blah, blah. But then, obviously it blew up in their face after the debates. And now they put up this talking point about it was weird, or JD Vance is weird. Yeah, maybe he's a little weird. That's fine. Eccentric or what have you. But the Democratic Party is in no position to call anybody else weird. But let's take a look. This is Rob Schneider saying the cult of zombie Democrats all speak the way they are told to. And then you got the Tom Elliott with the supercut from the DNC, outsourcing their brainwash buzzwords. Here we go.
Running mate are saying, well, it's just plain weird.
These guys are just weird. That's who they are. As weird and creepy as JD Vance.
Super weird idea from JD Vance.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's quite weird. They're just plain weird.
Just plain weird. Just plain weird.
That stuff is weird. They come across weird, and then they start being weird. Yeah, they're weird.
Being a really weird.
He's such a weirdo.
Donald Trump and his weirdo running mate, they're weird. Deeply and profoundly weird.
They are weird.
These Republicans just being weird. It's just weird. It's really weird.
Republican weirdness goes even deeper.
He said a lot of things that are weird, a weird style that he brings, weird policies.
Let's start with the weird thing, because it is a thing.
Just plain weird.
What was weird was talking about Diet Mountain Dew. Who drinks Diet Mountain Dew?
You ever seen the guy
Oh, my God.
Yeah, hold on. I drank Diet Mountain Dew before I knew better. I used to get cubes of that shit in college. I don't anymore. I used to. What's wrong with Diet Mountain Dew? I get cube after cube. I didn't really understand aspartame like I do now, but I digress.
Oh, yeah. Good times. Yeah, I used to
It's a
drink
delicious beverage.
It had its moment.
What's the Mountain Dew hate?
It's a mix-up. Yeah. In the rotation.
It seems very weird to me that that an adult can go through 6.5 years of being in the public eye. If he has laughed, it's at someone, not with someone. That is weird behavior.
Weird and cultish.
These are weird people on the other side.
He kind of doubled down on his weird ideas.
I think weird is probably generous.
Simply weird. These guys are just plain weird.
Vance as weird?
You know, as the campaign said, weird.
It really is just plain weird.
JD Vance, plain weird.
I mean, I don't know how else you could read it.
Weird. It is kind of weird.
We're not afraid of weird people. The other side, they're just weird.
Why are you being so weird?
Vance has done something more extreme, more weird.
No matter what kind of weird stuff they keep saying.
Pause it. Who's that guy? Who's that guy?
Isn't that Harris's beta male husband?
Kamala's air quote husband?
Yeah.
By the way, there's a lot of stories coming up. It is so interesting. By the way, my prediction, I don't think Kamala makes it as the Democrat nominee. Hopefully she stays safe. Like I said, I'm very concerned about that. And I fear what the deep state could do to her. It wouldn't be MAGA. MAGA wouldn't. They would not expend energy on that. The deep state would. The Democrats would. But yeah, there's a lot coming out now that you're finally vetting these people. There's allegedly love children around. Anyway, just check out the X feed, American_media_. But that Kamala husband is a weird one, kind of on the line of Nancy Pelosi's husband. Weird going on there.
Oh, that's a whole new level of
like
weird.
Michelle Obama. There's a lot of stories about significant, like Emmanuel Macron. There's a lot of stories. Barbara Bush. I don't know. There's just a lot of stories that interesting dynamics. Interesting.
There certainly is. Yeah. If we only knew someday, hopefully all that stuff will be revealed. It's going to be a shock for most people to realize what people are really doing behind the scenes.
Dreamer saying that the deep state software update is use the word weird as much as possible until we think of another hoax or something. Yeah, pretty much.
The new talking point. Yeah, good stuff. Sharp as a pillow. Nice.
This show was weird, and I appreciate you guys being here and being weird.
Science. It's a great movie. It's one of my all-time favorites.
Classics. Do you have a favorite line from that movie on our way out the door, Blake? Any favorite moments from Weird Science?
There's a lot because I love Bill Paxton was great in that, and yes, it was just all around good.
Good. Okay.
She's in Malacca's, Dean. I don't know. There's so many. I don't know.
All right, there you go. You got something. Thank you. I couldn't remember.
Go back to ancient Greece. Go back to the Greek. All right.
Yeah, get him to the Greek. Get him to the Greek. All right, we're going to take off for now. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Please subscribe to the New American Media's YouTube and Rumble and Odyssey accounts. On X, we're at American_media_. Facebook page, The New American Media. Go into the group section. Search TNAM for The New American Media. In TNAM, we have about 30 different private groups. You can subscribe if you like TNAM Food and Drink, TNAM Preparedness, TNAM Humor, all sorts of interesting stuff. When the security question says, how'd you find our private group? Just say, Brian invited you. We'll let you in. Subscribe to the New American Media on Truth Social and our podcast on Spotify and Apple, I believe. It's the Agree to Disagree show. Patreon, if you would like to help support independent journalism that has traveled all across this great country to get on the ground and talk to people in real life so you can get more accurate depictions of what's really happening. Patreon.com/The New American Media, as well as Instagram.com/The New American Media. Trying to get a locals channel set up, all sorts of things. I digress. But Blake Walley up there, he is at thenextlevelnews.com. I think he's a little behind in updating the page, but don't worry. Just follow him on X at TV's Blake Walley, and you're going to get all of the awesome, crazy, cool content that you crave. All right. That's all I have for today. Blake, appreciate your time today. Thanks for accommodating the early show and the succinct show. The more succinct, the better, he says. Yes, I could go 3 hours every day, and, I usually will. But today, I'm going to sign out. I appreciate you all. I love you all. Frankie's saying, love you, Blake. So,
thank you, Frankie.
Hold on. Kenneth said one more thing. Kenneth said Venmo. Kenneth always wants to remind people we do have a Venmo. It's at Brian Engelman, at BrianEngelman. Kenneth is the best at is being my hype man because I do forget that. And that reminds me to tell you that Blake has Cash App. It's $ Blake W99. Because, hey, like Frankie Brown, if you love Blake, all of the rest of you listeners out there in the universe, some of you might say, hey, let me kick Blake a couple of bucks here. Here, put a little fin in your pocket. Get a cup of coffee. Get in. Oh, you want to go to Chicago? That'll be about $500. Yeah, maybe $1,700. I don't know. Here's $100. We appreciate what you're doing for us. It's all appreciated. Kenneth, of course, wants me to sign out saying, inconceivable.
Your guide to the truth. TheNewAmericanMedia.com.